Unbelievable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And fuck our champions!
Good on Pepe! Goal! It doesn't get any better than that!
Hello everyone, welcome to the Game in Frame live stream. I'm Josh Pratt with Nick Krause on camera, and it's the second national APSL semi-final on the docket tonight. And it's the clash of the Titans, Nova FC, who have made the last 3 APSL national finals, take on the Pancyprian Freedoms, who have won just about everything in pre-professional soccer and some trophies in professional soccer as well, including Open Cups. But a national APSL title is one piece of silverware that has eluded the Pancyprians. They will look to correct that this weekend. Nova know what it's like to lift the cup. They've done so twice. And both those times at the Pancyprians' expense. In 2022, these sides met in the final. Nova won the game 2-0, goals at the end of either half, doing the job. And then in 2023, the two sides met in a titanic battle that at times did get physical. They met in the semi-finals. There was 3 goals in the final 10 minutes, a Pancyprian equaliser in the 95th. The game ended up going to penalties and Nova progressed through that and then won the final. Then last year, Nova made the final again, but were beaten by the Greek Americans. And it's only the only times that these two sides have met has been in the APSL playoffs. But there'll be no love lost between them. Players had to be separated after the 2023 shootout. They just love to win. It's all they know how to do. Both the sides are their regular season champions in their respective conference. The Pancyprians winning the Metropolitan Division, Nova winning the Mid-Atlantic. They also, of course, won the playoffs, which is what got them their ticket here. And they've enjoyed very impressive records. Both sides have not lost an APSL game in 2025 and lost only one in the entire season, which came in 2024. In terms of our squad news, Pancyprians looking quite depleted, missing 6 or 7 really important players. The entire midfield, Fathazada, Argudo, Jordan Balon, who've all been regulars in there, not here tonight. Also Jens Hoff, the big Norwegian, out. And also, very notably, Josh Levine in goal, who's been such a crucial part of the Pancyprians, having the best defensive record in the APSL this year. Junior Rosero and Sebastian Ruiz missing up front. So there's going to be 5 new signings in the Pancyprian squad. They're all college players, so can certainly imagine there's going to be plenty of quality and fitness in them, which is part of the key to this weekend. The starting 11 that we are expecting is Soren Jensen in goal, a Dane for the Pancyprians. This will be just his 3rd appearance for the Pancyprians in the APSL this season. In front of him is going to be the new signing. There's Nevsky making his debut alongside Jack Slaus, who's been a regular in the Pancyprians. Devin Hinu will be left back, Cederberg will be right back. So those 3 are all regulars in the team. The midfield in front of that back 4 is going to be Joe Holland, who has scored 3 of the Pancyprians' 4 goals in the APSL playoffs in previous years. And he got the assist for the 4th one as well. So he is the talisman for this side. He has been for many years, even as he advances towards 33. He is the man who can make the difference and win games for the Pancyprians. Alongside him will be Pablo Ablanedo, the Spaniard. Jeffrey Vanegas makes his debut. He'll be playing in the number 10 position. At right wing, Alex Pallas, who we've seen for New York Renegades before. At left wing, and that's a debut for Pallas as well, and then also a debut for Lou Kent-Bosque, who's a Frenchman who played with PSG's academy until under 17, I'm told. He will be starting on the left wing, and a very familiar name up front, James Tristino, the Pancyprians' top scorer, 18 goals in 23 APSL games this season. For Nova, we're not sure exactly positionally how they're going to line up, but we do know we're going to have Drew Hartman in goal. And I'll just list them in order of the position. So Diego Avila, we're expecting to have at centre-back, perhaps along Jackson Hall. And then we'll have George Calaf perhaps at right-back and Jeffrey Fieler at left-back. Expecting the midfield to be Bernardo Majano alongside Gary Zhang and Luo Mahiri. And then the front line, not 100% sure on, but most likely Jean-Philippe, the centre forwards, Victor Marquez on the left, and I think we're still just waiting to hear who's going to be the final name on that sheet. But this Nova side once again dominated the Mid-Atlantic Conference, won it by early May. They've won all 4 APSL Mid-Atlantic conferences. As our sides walk out, it's a fixture to dream of in semi-pro soccer. 2 respective dynasties of their regions searching to be top dog nationally. Nova have done it twice. The Pancyprians have made it to the finals twice, but have both times failed courtesy of Nova, and that will sting. It will be something they will want to correct. So I think the last centre forwards we're going to have for Nova as well is going to be Gage Lyons. It's going to be in that front 3. So we'll just see exactly how they line up. Sun just setting here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Been a warm day. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow. Whoever wins tonight will face Westchester Predators, who absolutely shredded Kickoff Elite in the earlier semi-final. And I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say Westchester Predators are the favourites right now, I think. Not just from that very impressive performance in the first semi-finals, but also the fact that they were able to sub half of their starting lineup effectively at half-time, knowing they had the game in the bag. They should really be fresher tomorrow in the final. They get a few more hours to recover as well. If the Pancyprians and Nova have a war of attrition, as has been the case both times in previous meetings, it's going to be a difficult turnaround to make a noon kickoff in what could be as high as 95 degrees. They'll do it. These are very fit, very motivated players. But it will give, you'd feel, probably an advantage to Westchester. The 2 number 10s wearing the armbands. Joe Holland for the Pancyprians, Bernardo Majano for Nova. One thing we should certainly expect plenty of is goals. Neither side have failed to score this season in the APSL. In fact, Nova averaging 4.5 goals a game, whilst the Pancyprians 3.5. Big team talk for Joe Holland. Age just starting to catch up with him. He's taken such good care of his body, but he has to wonder how many more APSL National Championships has he got in him. This could maybe be the last. He'll probably prove me wrong. He takes such good care of his body. He works hard. But the Metropolitan Division is such a tough conference to get out of. Pancyprians beat Lansdowne Yonkers to get here in a grueling final. A late winner by Junior Rosero, who's not here today. And now the Pancyprians face the toughest of tests, the Virginian champions, Nova FC. And Nova will get kicked off here. Round 3 between the Pancyprians and Nova. Nova have 2 chalks on the board, and both of those victories led directly or indirectly to them lifting an APSL national title shortly afterwards. But the Pancyprians have one of the most famous histories in US soccer. And the fact they don't have an APSL national title in their trophy cabinet will burn deeply in their pride. Is this the weekend, or are Nova going to once again progress to a 4th consecutive APSL national final? Diego Avila switching across to George Khalifa. So it looks as if those two will be the back pair. Both sides playing a classic 4-3-3 with holding centre midfielders and then attacking midfielder behind the front line. Nova with the first foray forwards. Good positioning by Lesniewski. And played up by Bosk to Tristino, who can have his first go at Nova's back line. Kickoff sticking with him very well. Heaney will take the throw-in. Venegas watch closely. It'll be another throw-in for the Pancyprians. Coach Cronus watching closely from the touchline. This is his first season with as the head coach of the Pancyprians, but of course he's been part of the furniture in the club for a long time. Captained the side for many years before retiring from playing, and he featured in both games the Pancyprians had against Nova. And not to bring up a bad memory, but he missed a penalty in the last semi-finals. That's sent in. James Tristino with the header. The flag is going to go up. Well caught by Tristino and decently saved by Drew Hartman too. Alex Pallas sent that cross in very flat, and Tristino found the gap. Didn't look too far offside. Hartman drilling it towards Philippe. Pallas well positioned and brought down on a penny by Venegas, and he got clipped from behind by Mahari. Joe Holland will take command of this free kick. Quite a straight angle. He's going to send it towards Slouse at the far post. Slouse back across the 6-yard box. Mahari well positioned. And Gage Leons will bring it out for Nova. Gary Zhang switching it. Looks as if Gary Zhang is playing in that number 10 position for Nova. It's a venturous foray down that right side, headed out by Slouse. And Ablanedo completing the clearance. A little awkward here for Avila. Held off the attentions of Pallas. And Calaf will bring it out. Marquez is going to drive towards the touchline. He's a dangerous, dangerous player to deal with. That cross is going to come towards the far post. Majano. Cut out before it can reach Philippe. Open start to the game. Driven crossfield. A good rise by Alex Pallas. Kickoff. Set back in to Mahari. That pass, not the right angle by Kickoff. Whereas by Lefneski. Lefneski, redshirt sophomore at LIU. As the Pancyprians transitioning well, there's a gap. Bosk is going to charge into it. Well read by Filer. Hartman a little loose with his distribution, and it's going to be the first corner kick of the evening, rather needless from Nova's perspective, is Jackson Hall in the tussle. Jackson Hall actually, I believe, just graduated from a college that I went to, Vassar College, and he had a very impressive record there indeed. Alex Pallas will whip this in. Interestingly enough, Nova leaving two up on the halfway line. Ball swung in. Slaus is going to go towards it, met by Mahari before it could reach him. Holland back where it came from, flicked on. But no one had really made a run. A little bit loose there by Filer. A real danger man for Nova is Marquez Wagner, who scored in the 2022 and 2023 APSL National Finals. Beautiful goal he scored in 2023 to put the cherry on top of Nova's final victory. Solo goal where he took on 5 or 6 players, put the goalkeeper on the ground and then the defender on the line too. And he scored against the Pancyprians in the 2022 meeting in the final as well. Tristino, he's going to switch out towards Bosk, well read by Jackson Hall. Sent all the way back to Drew Hartman by Mahiri. Khalif. Jackson Hall. Marquez. Ablanedo is going to search towards James Tristino, sends the diagonal ball. Tristino's going to have to race to keep this in. Only able to prevent it from going out for a goal kick. And guys, a reminder, today's broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic, who made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag. Their case uses antimicrobial technology to block odour, making for smell-free car rides and apartments. And if you scan the QR code, you can get 10% off the air case. Keep it fresh. Felipe dropped it very deep to win the free kick, drove it up. Little wastefully. Cederberg couldn't find Alex Pallas though. Worth noting, in both previous meetings between Nova and the Pancyprians, Nova have always taken the lead. The Pancyprians have never led in this fixture. They've either conceded the first goal and never come back, or gone behind and then equalised. Jackson Hall. Hall looking crossfield towards Zhang. Good win by Slaus. Mahari uncompromising. Referee judging it was fair. Here's Philippe. Philippe on the edge of the area. Couldn't work himself half a yard. Joe Holland closed down aggressively by Mahari, who wins it back again. And Filer broke the tackle with Alex Palace, but unfortunately for Filer, ball bounced off his hand. Ablanado. Slaus. Drills it up. That's an interesting ball. Alex Palace on the angle, caught it with venomous power. Straight at Drew Hartman. But not the easiest save for the keeper. He did well to make sure it didn't go through his hands, got his body behind it. First save either keeper has had to make. Ablanado. Joe Holland, there's a gap on the left side. Here's Devin Hinu. Too much on the cross, he'll go across the whole pack. Palace opts to keep it in. And Cederberg spins on a dime, Ablanado. Drills it crossfield, perfect ball to Devin Hinu. Blue shirts queuing up in the middle. Hinu takes a few deflections, fortunately from a Nova's perspective. None fell to a blue shirt. Ablanado, Pancyprian's squeezing the Virginians hard at the moment. Venegas gets half a yard. Joe Holland. Hinu again with quite a bit of space. Holland instead opting towards Tristino. Ablanado is just sweeping up every Nova clearance at the moment. Hinu. That was a poor pass inside to Bosk. And Nova can get a little bit of relief on their pressure. Leons. Philippe. Holding up really well. Found Gage. Leons. One back. And Jackson Hall sneaking up on Bosk. Nova have got a full bench tonight. The Pancyprians just 3 players on it, 2 outfielders. As I said in the pre-match, they're missing some really big names. I'm not sure whether we'll see a few if the Pancyprians make the final tomorrow. That was loose there by Cederberg. Set back. Wagner couldn't get his feet sorted out. And Bosk recovered well, let off for Cederberg. Nevsky, he does one. There's a gaping hole on the right side of Nova's defence. Jackson Hall pushed up. Fortunately, the pass not more accurate from Nova's perspective. Level out. Farley gives it back to Avila. Approaching the quarter mark in this first half. Only shot on target thus far coming from Alex Palace, who stung the palms of Drew Hartman, albeit from quite a narrow angle. In terms of balance of play, it's been very even. Leons. Zhang. Fight up. Slavs will eat that up all day at the near post. Bounced off of the shins of Venegas. Mahari. Had a speculative shot and took a deflection off of Holland, and Nova will get their first corner of the evening. Corner's taken short. Des Leons onto his right foot. Leons low! Just past that near post. Perhaps Soren Jensen had it covered, perhaps not. It was a darting low strike. Pancyprian's caught napping. Gave Leons far too much space on the corner of the penalty area, and he was able to work onto his right in a really good position. Sent over the top, Venegas. Difficult first touch to execute. Mahari. Drives it towards Gaze Leon. Cederberg dealt with that really well. Under a lot of pressure. Joe Holland. Slaus. Not quite enough legs on the crossfield ball, but Jackson Hall couldn't do anything more than put it out for a throw-in. Well, the first game was as one-sided as they get. Looks like we're in for a very tight second semi-final here in the APSL Nationals, as we expected on paper. Venegas. He knew. He was well policed by Khalif. Jackson Halls puts out for another throw-in. Joe Holland, he's done well, and that took a deflection off of Venegas, or Pallas even. Fortunately for Nova, just landed in the hands of the keeper, Drew Hartman. Leons. Avila. Interestingly enough, neither side is playing a particularly high press on the other side's back line. And both coaches have to factor in that this is a two-day endeavour. They win the semis, they're going to have to get up and play the final at 12 p.m. against Westchester Predators. Of course, we're going to have that back here exclusively on GamerFrame.com on our YouTube channel midday tomorrow. Good work there by Zhang. Here's Hall, couldn't split between the two blue shirts. Ablanedo. He's going to drive it towards James Tristino. He's got some space here. Hartman off his line. It was a really good gamble by the keeper. And he bet his hand with a cool head. Look at that for a touch. He's a long way out of position. But I hope his teammates don't lose it anytime soon. Majano obliges. And that's played down the channel. Slavs read it well. There'll be another corner kick for Nova. Excellent goalkeeping by Drew Hartman. Nova didn't have an impeccable defensive record in the Mid-Atlantic Conference, though. 23 goals conceded in 16 games. Decidedly worse than the Pancyprians. 17 conceded in 22 in regular season. going to be swung in by Majano towards the far post. And at that back post was Avalar. There was a good chance if he had connected with it by himself. Hinu. Venegas. Ablanedo was attended to by Zhang. Very cool touch by Lesniewski. Slaus loves the driven ball and he's excellent at it. He finds Alex Pallas, who can take on Feiler. He's a tricky customer. Pallas, round one, sets it across the far post. James Tristino saved by Hartman. Rebound off the post. Oh my word, how has that not hit the back of the net? Drew Hartman put his body in the line. He may have got hurt in the process. A superb save to deny James Tristino, who must have surely believed he was going to add his 18th or 19th goal, in the APSL campaign. And then the rebound by Venegas. He was just stretching and under the defensive pressure couldn't squeeze it in. Alex Pallas absolutely shredded Feiler there. It was an inch perfect ball to that far post. And Tristino, by the textbook, he did everything right. He got lots of connection on the ball. But Hartman just threw his body in the way, guessed where it was going to go. All he could do at that distance. It's a super stop. Joe Holland with interception. Cederberg driving it up towards Tristino. Mahari restores order for Nova. Look at that for a turn. Gage Lyons here in a wide position. Just towards that far post, it's cut out before it could reach a teammate. Mahari with the rise. Lyons again. And the offside flag, I think, goes up against Gage Lyons, who's a rising junior at Army West Point Soccer. Played 16 games in the 2024 college season, scoring 6. Veteran in this Nova side is Bernardo Majano, who's wearing the captain's armband in the number 10. So both the captains number 10 tonight. 31 years old, played for El Salvador U19, and also played professionally in Nisa with Maryland Bobcats and Michigan Stars. Here's Venegas. Pallas, cross blocked by Feiler. He brings it out well, the fullback. Philippe. Zhang, loose pass. Bosk searching towards Tristino, had to thread it between two defenders, couldn't do so, but he gets on the second ball. Venegas, acres for Pallas on the right side. Venegas opted to look for the space in behind, could have just given that ball flat to Pallas, might have been the better option. Floodlights are just booting up here. Oh, beautiful venue. Zephyr Stadium, we're here in Allentown, in Pennsylvania. Very scenic. It's a very fluid front three for Nova. Marquez, Wagner Marquez, excuse me, and Jean-Philippe are switching quite often. And you know, it looks like we might have a substitution here for Nova. We'll just wait a second. Oh, actually, no, sorry, it looks like it was Zhang who just had to step off, must have got a knock somewhere, and needed some attention. Avila. Here's Zhang. Wagner Marquez. Feiler. Blocked by Palace, but at the expense of a third Nova corner on that side. It's going to be an in-swinger towards that near post, fired in. Headed out simply enough. Well, one back by Leons. Mahari. Philippe. It's a smart spin. Philippe is trying to thread it through to Marquez. Lefneski not given any time to bring the ball out for the Pancyprians. Zhang. Feiler. Zhang, we've seen plenty of the ball. Mahari. Zhang again. Floats it across. Sloughs with the first header. Ablanedo gives it back to Cederberg. Clever touch by Venegas. Joe Holland was looking to force an ambitious ball out to Bosk. Wasteful from the Pancyprian skipper, back with Nova, who have had a decent amount of the ball these last 5 minutes. Jackson Hall. Hall switches out to Avila. Patient play from Nova. Leons. Palace got some of the ball, but he went in behind on Gage Leons. I think probably it was the right decision by the referee to give the free kick. Joe Holland made his opinion known to the referee, so I can have a quick word with Holland. Majano towards Philippe. First header by Lefneski. Leons. Mahari. Cederberg with a towering header. And there's a little pull or push on the back of Joe Holland. And the Pancyprians can get some relief to the pressure. Ablanedo and the channel. Cederberg just about able to keep it in. Ablanedo never phased under pressure. Very technical, the Spaniard. Jack Sloughs. Finds Joe Holland. Joe Holland is going to test Avila for pace. Avila met the test. Linesman is going to give a corner kick to the Pancyprians. There's a bit of contention about which way the flag would go. The linesman took some time to make his mind up. Everyone going forward for the Pancyprians. Just being reminded by Soren Jensen, they've got 3 Nova players waiting on the halfway line. So the Pancyprians having to leave players back. It only gives 6 options to aim for. Luke Bosk, he swings it in. Hartman, what a gather, under a lot of pressure by Tristino. He holds it out to Lyons, and he got hacked down very clumsily by Alex Pallas, who is going to add his name to the book. First name of the book in the book this evening. Can't have any complaints. Alex Pallas pleading his case, but looked pretty clear cut to me. That's loose by Nova. Ablanedo. Venegas. Bit of hesitation from the Pancyprians, and that's wasteful by Ablanedo. Venegas refused to give up on it, and he's won a corner kick. He's done very well there, Venegas, in the end. I do wonder if the Pancyprians had been a little quicker with their reaction to that loose ball by Nova. They could have found some space in behind. Swung in. Big punch by Hartman. It comes on the edge to Joe Holland, who had a shot. That took a deflection. Another corner kick for the Pancyprians. Wasn't the cleanest hit by Joe Holland, but got the corner. Pallas will take this corner kick. Pancyprians certainly have the height advantage in their area with Lesneski and Slaus. What can Pallas conjure up towards the near post? Lesneski with his heel off the post. Comes on the edge. Bosk with the volley. Couldn't keep it down. That would have been an exquisite opener for the Pancyprians. That ball was so high as it came to Lesneski. Ingenious flick with his heel. A whisker away from the opener. We've had good chances at either end, but past the half-hour mark, still goalless here at Zephyr Stadium. Calaf searching towards Marquez. Lesneski able to deal with the attack for now. Philippe. Well into Zhang, and Philippe. Jolan put pressure on him. Marquez won't give up on it, he keeps it in. Still with the Brazilian. Goes back to Zhang. Mahari. Marquez again. Lovely dancing footwork, but not such a good pass. Ablanedo read it well. Could not break the Nova press though. Here's the skipper, Majano, goes for a speculative shot. Always rising. If you're enjoying this broadcast, guys, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're the home of Northeast Grassroots Soccer live streaming. Have action from across the semi-pro, amateur and youth scene, from Long Island to New York to Philadelphia to New Jersey. It's been a fantastic spring season. We've seen so many exciting moments. And although summer break is approaching, we've got a brilliant lineup already on the docket for fall. Holland. Good step by Zhang to cut out that give and go. Philippe. Sandwich between Lefnevsky and Hinu. On the throne though. Jackson Hall's going to launch it forwards. Slough's is going to win most of the aerial duels against Marquez. Filer. Leons. No hurry. All the way back to Drew Hartman. Drew Hartman's produced the biggest moments of the game so far. Spectacularly denied James Tristino from close range. And made another smart save at the near post against Alex Palas too. You know, I said Westchester Predators have the advantage with more rest time, but what I will say is the sun is setting and all has been behind cloud this entire game, so there is a lot less heat now. Last year, the Greek Americans played the 7 p.m. semi-final and Nova played the 4 p.m. The Greeks ended up winning the final, so the short turnaround time didn't seem to affect them too much. Here's Hall, testing the legs of Holland and beating Holland. Hall cuts back. Philippe. Delayed by Hinu. And Hinu got a little touch on it. It comes back to Hall, who's looking very lively on the right side. Scooped up towards Zhang. Hinu restores order. Tristino, quite an isolated figure. At centre forwards, though. Zhang. Not enough bend to find Gabe Leons and also Søren Jensen was off his line quickly. Ablanedo. Tristino. Got hauled down by Zhang. Pancyprian's howling for a yellow, arguing it's the same as Palas. I think that's a little bit of a stretch, honestly. Not a good tackle, clumsy, but a warning probably sufficient. Pancyprians have been decently fluid in possession. Again, remember, 4 of the starters are debutants today. Cederberg, Ablanedo, telegraphed the switch. Philippe got the memo. He'll drive it forwards, but that was a very ambitious pass for Wagner Marquez. Coach Cronus asking for a little bit more quality from this Pancyprian side in possession. Here's Tristino. Or Bosch even, excuse me. Hinu. He's looking for Tristino down the line. Tristino put enough pressure on Hall. Another corner kick. Alex Pallas will take this again. Last corner from that side. Pancyprian's connected and hit the post. Here comes another one. Pallas. Swung in. Big head up. Lesneski gets it out to Joe Holland. Joe Holland took a swing, had to get it through a massive white shirt. 4 to be precise. Wasn't able to squeeze it. It's back to Alex Pallas. Still lots of blue shirts to aim for. Here comes the delivery. Cederberg. Cederberg took a few deflections and spun round the post. Hartman scrambling towards there. I'm not sure if he would have reached it, even though the ball didn't have a lot of pace. Took some deflections that might have left the keeper stranded. Set pieces have really caused Nova a headache so far. Luke Kent, Bosk to deliver. That's a good delivery. Took a slice of touch before it reached Lesneski, who felt he had a certain goal. I think he was probably right there. Joe Holland sprays it out to Alex Pallas. Showed too much to Philippe. There's a gap on the Pancyprian's right side. Philippe couldn't thread it through it. Lesneski has been impressive at centre-back thus far for the Pancyprians. Slotted in very comfortably alongside Sloys. Not sure who he knew was looking for there. Right in front of Coach Cronus as well, that pass. I could hear the vocal displeasure from here. Calaf, that's a good ball. Marquez. The final ball that's lacking for Nova. They're getting in decent positions in the final third. Look at that for a touch by Joe Holland. Ended up having the throw and go against him though. Jeffrey Venegas a little bit too keen with his efforts to take that ball off Mahari. Avila. Zhang. Leons. Mahari. Crossfield to Hall. He brings it down on a dime. That was not a good enough pass by Calaf into Zhang. So we tick towards the end of this first half. Don't imagine we'll get a huge amount of stoppage time. Goalless, but not without incident. Pancyprians with a few good chances. And Nova have had phases of threat, although yet to draw a save from Soren Jensen. But what certainly works in Nova's favour in the second half is the lack of the Pancyprians' depth on the bench. Just 2 outfield subs. Slough's combative, and then Cederberg's touch takes it in the path of Gabe Leons, who may be in behind here. Gabe Leons, he's gone down! Penalty, referee waves away the penalty emphatically. You know, I think on first glance, Cederberg held back just enough. It was a dangerous, dangerous moment for the fullback. He was the wrong side of Leons, but I don't think there was clear contact. Here comes the Pancyprians down the other end. Ablanedo slightly too heavy with his pass to Lou Kent Bosk. Majano. Leons. Zhang. Leons. It's going to fall here to Zhang nearly, but really good defending by Jeffrey Venegas. And a good ball too to James Tristino. He was getting hauled by Avila, who's going to go in the book. Must have had a deliberate tug on the arm of James Tristino. Quite a cheap yellow card to give away. Tristino wasn't really going anywhere. This will probably be the final action of the first half. Jack Slouch drives it crossfield towards Bosk. Hauls with the header. It will be a throw-in midway in Nova's half. Levneski floats it towards Palace. Already winning that aerial duel, or final even, excuse me. And that's the half-time whistle, goalless here at Zephyr Stadium. Pancyprians probably with the better chances, but Nova had moments of danger too, and a possible penalty shout right at the end of that half. Probably the 2 moments of the first period though was Drew Hartman's point-blank save to deny Tristino relatively early in the contest, and then Lefneski hitting the post with a wonderful back heel off of a corner kick. But it's a semi-final that hangs on a knife edge. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll find out who will meet Westchester Predators tomorrow at 12 p.m. in the final very soon. We'll be back soon.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential. Hello everyone, welcome back to Zephyrs Stadium. James Tristino, who had the best chance in the first half, will kick us off. It looks as if one change has been made for either team. It's Andrew Hilton, who I believe has come on for Filer, who was struggling a little bit to contain Alex Palace in that first half. Confirming it is Filer's off. We've got the fourth official board today, nice touch. Pancyprian's unchanged it again. They've just got the two subs on the bench. Karchipula and the veteran Andreas Iosifidis, George Angelidis, the goalkeeper, back up. Referee just getting his whistle sorted out. And we're off. Goalless in the first half. And these sides last met in the APSL National semi-final in 2023. It was goalless in the first half, and then we got 4 goals in the second period. 3 of those goals in the final 10 minutes. End up going into extra time at 2-2. Nova won the shootout. Ablanedo very loose with the pass. I think he was looking for Joe Holland to drop deep. Gage Leons, who was one of the more threatening players for Nova in that first period. Lefneski got a touch on it. Marquez will retrieve the scraps. Relatively quiet in that first half, Marquez, but he just needs half a chance and he explodes into life. That was loose by Mahari. Here's James Tristino. He's going to ask too much of Venegas there. Poor ball by Tristino. Majano. Pickpocketed by Ablanedo. Hopeful flick up to Venegas. Hinu with a combative header. Nova players getting in the way of each other. Here's James Tristino. Tristino still with it. Left foot swing! I think Hartman had it covered. Half a foot or so away from that far post though by Tristino. Gave a big shout to his teammates to leave it for him. And with the form he's been in this year, Tristino, 18 goals in 23 APSL games, you can't blame him. Probably the player of the season for the Pancyprians in this campaign. Hilton. Avala back to Hartman. Calaf. Jackson Hall, who was impressive in the first half, very pacey. Marquez. Helped around the corner by Hilton, who gets it back again. Hall, lovely football by Nova, Leons, and Zhang. Zhang still. Just didn't pull the trigger. It's Marquez looking for half a yard. A lot of blue shirts to get through now. Could Zhang have taken that shot? There wasn't a lot to aim at. But I wonder if he could have just been a little more adventurous there. Once it got to Wagner, there were so many blue shirts to break through. Calaf. Zhang. the Brazilian, Wagner Marquez. Mahari. Kickoff. He finds Zhang. And Hall. Driving at the heart of the Pancyprian defence. It was a poor touch by him, showed too much to Joe Holland. And now this will run to James Tristino. He's always got such a difficult task though, Tristino, when that ball comes to him on the breaks. The Pancyprians are getting every other man behind that ball. And Nova are choosing to leave typically 2 or sometimes 3 back with Tristino. I'd say it's been a relatively conservative approach from both teams so far. Alex Pallas. Couldn't find Venegas. Drew Hartman. Lefneski a little too casual, but Philippe turned it out. Venegas, not the right touch. Zhang dwelt on it too long. Hinu fortunate to keep it in. Bosk back to Hinu, and that ran out. Kickoff. Hilton. Avila, searching ball. Overhit for Philippe. Lefneski. Couldn't find a teammate. Marquez. One back by Slaus. Joe Holland does well to play that back to Cederberg. Holland. Tristino, round the corner. The idea was there, but difficult to execute. Well played out by Nova. The Virginians have had more of the ball so far in the half. Although still really lacking cutting edge. They might find it now though. Jack Sloyce has missed that. It's Wagner Marquez. And Soren snuffed out the chance. Soren Jensen, brilliant goalkeeping. Confusion at the back from the Pancyprians. Slaus got the slightest touch, but it only took it into the path of Marquez. And you would have backed him 9 times out of 10 to finish that. Cut in onto his left. But Soren Jensen, so quick off his line. Both keepers have made really important saves now. Ablanedo, there's a space in behind the back line. A good header by Avila. Okay, Leons. He's got the pace on Cederberg. No one had gambled into that 6-yard box. Held up by Jensen, Joe Holland. Venegas. Lovely jink of the hips. Holland. Tried to force that switch. Pancyprians have been a little careless with the ball so far in this half. There's another example there. Lefneski. Philippe takes it off of him. He can drive it, he knew. Marquez lost his footing. Slois took hold of it. Ablanedo, big gap on the right side. Alex Palas is going to race after it. Abla with him. Palas, Tristino, and Venegas! Oh, it's an awful finish. They had time. They couldn't pick out that top right corner. Lacked conviction, the finish really did. A lightning counter-attack by the Pancyprians. Performed open heart surgery on Nova's back line. But couldn't find the breakthrough. Nova are preparing another substitution. Golden chances at either end in quick succession. Hilton. Two changes. It looks like are coming for Nova. Zhang is going to add his name to the book for that clumsy tackle. It looks as if our subs coming on are going to be Eric Cavillo and Jordan Savage. Coach Cronus does have Brandon Kachipula warming up actively on the bench. Hinu. Lefneski. Hinu into Joe Holland. Hinu. Can find the feet of Bosk. Frenchman has been relatively quiet in the contest. As I was saying before the game, a PSG Academy product. Joe Holland. It's a decent pass, but Hinu hadn't quite anticipated it. Holland wins it back. Hinu back into Joe Holland. What can the skipper deliver? Joe Holland. Excellent recovery by Calaf. And even better from a Nova perspective. It's a goal kick. Last touch came off of Holland, who for a second looked as if he'd wiggled in behind Nova's defence. Alex Zhang and the skipper, the veteran Majano, are going to make way. Well, Gary Zhang even, excuse me. Armband handed to Eric Cavillo. Cavillo. That ball was just behind Savage. Joe Holland. Still lots of spring in the legs, even at 32. Ablanedo. It's a good ball. Hinu. Joe Holland. Gets it back from Ablanedo. It's a smart ball. Hinu. Miss hit. Venegas! Oh, he's missed an even bigger sitter this time. Coach Cronus' head in his hands. It's inside the 6-yard box. He just needed to make clean contact. And either side of Hartman, there's no chance for the keeper. He skied it in the same fashion. That's the chance 5 or 6 minutes ago. Big moments. And in a match which is decided by such thin margins. That miss could prove to be very costly, both of them. And I would say that's the third chance the Pancyprians have now had this game, excuse me, that they really should have finished. Hall. Cavillo loose with his touch. Cederberg. It's been an action-packed first 15 minutes of this second half. Wagner Marquez had an excellent chance near the start of the half, and then Venegas missing two really good opportunities. That was a late tackle on Venegas. He's clutching that ankle. That looked like quite an awkward fall. I think he's on his final warning. But guys, a reminder, the winner of this game will play Westchester Predators tomorrow at midday on Sunday. I'll be back here on YouTube exclusively on Game and Frame, the APSL National Final. Pancyprian's founder, Philip Christian, giving his opinion to the referee. Oh, Philip Christopher, excuse me. Philip Christopher, of course, founding the Pancyprians 51 years ago. What a history it's been. A list too long to mention in this broadcast for trophies, but amongst the cabinet, 3 Open Cups, a National Amateur Cup, 2 APSL Metropolitan League titles, many Cosmopolitan Soccer League titles before the APSL was formed, many state cups. You'd have to head to their website to get the full list. A trophy-filled history, but an APSL national title has eluded them. And both times they made these finals, it's been Nova who have foiled. It looks as if Pancyprian will be on shortly. Kickoff. Philippe. Marquez. Nova have got more subs stripped down. That's a really loose ball. James Tristino Hartman's off his line. Tristino goes for it. Ended up being well wide. He got the field hockey goal. The loft was right, but the angle all wrong. The Virginians playing with fire. Wagner Marquez is going to be subbed off. He will rue that missed chance. Jonathan Rivera on for him. German crossfield by Kickoff. Slouch with the first header. Cavillo winning that first, but then Venegas getting a little toe in. Joe Holland holding off Mahari. Joe Holland still with it. Joe Holland still going. Joe Holland onto his right foot. Joe Holland took a deflection. And Bosk went for the shot, I think. Might have been aiming for Tristan at that far post. Either way, over that crossbar. Holland involved in all 4 of the Pancyprians' goals in the APSL National Finals. Scored 3 of them. And got an assist for the most recent Pancyprian one, which was a 95th minute equaliser against Nova in the semi-finals 2 years ago to the day. And the way he drove that back line, you just wondered for a second if he was going to add to the tally. Final touch, looking to get onto his right foot, wasn't quite the right one to set himself up for a shot. Ablanedo overplayed it, and he's going to go in the book for that. No question about that. Jackson Hall played into a bit of pressure by Avila. Interesting choice with the free kick. Leon's restoring order for Nova. Philippe. Hinu nipping away at the heels. Khalaf. Good interception by Bosk. Couldn't keep it in. Karchipula is on the touchline, and I think the Pancyprians will make their first change. And it will be Lou Kent Bosk to be replaced. So it looks as if there's going to be a bit of positional switching for the Pancyprians as well. Pallas is going to go into the number 10. Jeffrey Venegas at left wing, and Brandon Karchipula will be on the right wing. Look for a second as if that ball's going to stay in off the corner flag deflection. Neski keeping initially. Touch back by Rivera. Carvillo onto his right foot. Rivera going back. Nova still lacking that penetration. Avila. Hall. Hall surging forwards. He's given in to Jean-Philippe, and a really good recovery by Hinu. He clears it. Back with Mahari. Mahari floats it in. Big shout and a simple gather by Soren Jensen. I'd say Nova have had more possession in the second half so far. But Pancyprians with 3 really good chances, all squandered. Tristino refused to give up on that ball, and he's won it back. Alex Pallas couldn't quite squirm it past the last man, thrown for the Pancyprians. Finally, the ball is given to Devin Hinu. Joe Holland. Hinu. Good step by Hall, who continues to impress, bursting forwards. He kept it in. How's the protest from the Pancyprians? Hall won't mind. He carries on. He's trying to take on Lefseski, who held him up really well. And then Hall tried to wrestle with the big Lesniewski. Gave away the free kick. Pancyprians playing out quickly. Joe Holland. Poking it to Tristino. Slaus. Ablanedo keeps the ball for the Pancyprians. Venegas. Hinu. Venegas. Hinu. Drives it cross-field. Kachipula, the flag is going to go up. Kachipula with his first touch of the game in quite a good position. Hartman drives it forward, and the legs are going to be starting to get heavy, particularly for the Pancyprians, who have made just one sub so far. It's one in the middle. Leon's overhit pass to Philippe. Opportunity squandered. Given the Pancyprians' lack of subs, you'd say they need to win this in normal time. It can be a massive disadvantage going into extra time. Nova may have made 6 outfield subs at that point, and the Pancyprians have only got one more they can make, and that's the veteran Iosifidis, who's gotten very little game time this season. It's a long-range shot here. Oh, it's spectacular! Alex Pallas with a worldie! Is that the Pancyprian salvation? A strike from the heavens. What a debut goal from Alex Pallas. "19 minutes left. And Alex Pallas gives the Pancyprians the lead in the APSL national semi-final. It's the first time the Pancyprians have ever led against Nova. Is it a decisive moment? It was a moment where the minute it left his foot, there was only one place the ball was going to land. That was the back of the net. Absolutely no chance for Drew Hartman. It's a goal of the highest calibre. The Pancyprians are 1 foot in the semi-final. Nova with 18 minutes to find an equaliser. Still plenty of time. But the Pancyprians have quite a defensive record. Ablanedo also, they can hit you on the break. Hinu. Jackson. Hall once again. Very astute defensively. Nova do have another sub preparing to come on. Might be AJ Shatter. A little hard to see from this distance. I said the Pancyprians really need to win this in normal time with the lack of squad depth. They may have done it. Nova have already made one change as well with the right after the goal. Alton West is on. Not sure who he replaced. Corner kick for Nova. It's all hands on deck defensively now for the Pancyprians. Everyone coming back. Savage will deliver the corner. Swinging towards the near post. Philippe met it. Or West even. Couldn't redirect it, and here comes another change. Mahari is going to come off. And it is AJ Schetter who's come on. Looks like he's going to be in the base of midfield. So a straight positional switch. Inu. He does well. Venegas brings it down well. He can take on Calaf even, excuse me. Try to force the pass instead. He'll get it back again, Venegas. He'll be relieved as anyone. Pancyprians are leading with the 2 chances that he squandered. Lesneski giving it all the way back to Søren Jensen. He'll drive it forwards. Hall meeting it. Lesneski clearing it, and he got caught late. And then there's a little bit of artist between Lesneski and West, and Lesneski's got about a foot on West, but that hasn't deterred West. Albeit, I mean, to be fair, I just can't believe that Lesneski didn't get a foul there. He was caught late after the ball had gone. Right in front of the linesman. And the referee's going to call in the skipper, Joe Holland. Holland's going to get a yellow for dissent. West is going to launch this into the 18-yard box. Bouncing around, swung, equaliser for Nova. It didn't take them long. Jonathan Rivera catching it sweetly. Rocked into the top corner. About 6 minutes between the goals. Perhaps less. And it's all square here at Zephyr Stadium. Pancyprians, I think, still arguing they should have had the free kick instead of the throw-in. That long throw causing havoc. Joe Holland is going to go for a long-range strike here. And he wasn't far over the crossbar. Hartman was backpedaling anxiously. Avila driving it forwards. Man's doing well. Schetter, the flag is going to go up against Leons, who took that down very nicely. In case you need any more encouragement to watch this final stage of normal time. The last meeting between these two sides in the semi-final, we had 3 goals in the final 10 minutes. Zeski, Tristino, try to touch into the path of Palace. Hall will win it. Heavy first touch by Rivera. Holland finds Alex Palace. Palace trying to work onto his right foot. Pancyprian couldn't work himself half a yard. Shetter with a good ball down the channel, and that's a lovely touch inside by Rivera, and West is going to strive forwards. Looking for Leon. It's going to come to Savage. Savage. Not nearly enough on that cross. Simple gather for Jensen. Hinu. Palace. Jaslaus. Closed down. West. Really loose pass. I think he was looking for Rivera. Just wonder how heavy these legs are for the Pancyprians. Nine minutes of normal time remaining. If we are level at full time, we're going to extra time, 30 minutes of it. And then after that, the dreaded penalty shootout. That's what decided the last semi-final meeting between these two. Savage was looking for around the corner. Wasn't the right pass. It's Nevsky. It's a clever scoop past Ablanedo. Cederberg. Pancyprian. Gets it back from Ablanedo. And then he got his feet in a muddle. That could prove costly. Here's the skipper, Cavillo. Pancyprian just shot the back. Cavillo still. Cavillo. Tame effort. Got a local section of Nova fans who are giving quite a lot of aggressive tactical advice to their team out there. I'm not sure quite understand how difficult the game is. We are watching very high-level semi-pro players. Perhaps one of them could do better. Ablanedo. Palace. Floats it cross field. Tristino, clever there as they're coming together. Both players went down. And then another coming together. That looked like a free kick. Tristino incensed. He got his body in the way and he got brought down. The linesman was very well placed. Not sure why the flag didn't go up. Rivera. He slotted it through. Leons was nearly in. Jack Sloy is able to muster the energy to put it out for a corner kick. Next goal probably wins it, if it's before the full-time whistle. Otherwise, 30 minutes of extra time beckons. Cavillo is posted at that far post. It's going to be swung towards him. Free header. Goal must scramble. Nova lead. Nova lead. With just minutes left. It might be the decisive goal. I think it was Kickoff with that final touch. The Pancyprians again incensed they didn't get a foul there for Tristino. Joe Holland has got to be very careful. He's on a booking already for descent. Both the lead-ups to the Nova's goals, Pancyprians felt like they had a case for a free kick. And on first glance, I have to say I'm inclined to agree with them. Both times it was right in front of linesmen. And they kept their flags rooted to the spot. But nonetheless, you have to react to the moment after. The Pancyprians haven't. And Nova, in a very short space of time, has flipped the script. Pancyprians have rescued a semi-final against Nova with this sort of time remaining. Last semi-final finished 2-2, a 95th minute equaliser by the Pancyprians. Joe Holland, that looked like it came off a horse hand. Play continues. Palace, who just for a moment must have thought he was going to be a spectacular match winner, but the game looks very different now. Joe Holland, I think, is going to walk here. Shoved behind he is. The Pancyprians are down to 10. It's a disastrous 6 minutes. They've conceded 2, and they've gone down to 10. And Joe Holland now is going to have a word with the linesman. And that's an ignominious end to the semi-final for Joe Holland. And that might be the end to the Pancyprians bid. They've got to find a goal. A man down with 3 minutes of normal time remaining. Venegas is going to come off for Iosifidis for this final few minutes. Even if the Pancyprians can rescue an equaliser late on, it's hard to imagine them enduring 30 minutes of extra time, a man down. Venegas replaced by Iosifidis. Although I do sympathise with Joe Holland on the frustration with the referee's decisions. Again, on first glance, looks as if Pancyprians have a pretty fair shout with both of those calls that then led to Nova's goals. It was a really rash shove in the back by Holland to get that second yellow. Left the referee absolutely no choice. Holland's still talking here with the fourth official. And I think even if the Pancyprians did make the final miraculously, Holland would be suspended for it too. There's still plays delayed here. I think John has to leave the field. Well, we've had a long delay, so I imagine we're going to get a considerable amount of stoppage time. A highly eventful final 20 minutes there. We've had 3 goals and a red card. Looks as if Kickoff has gone into the centre forward position for the Pancyprians. James Tristino looks to help it on for Kickoff. Hartman off his line. Hilton. And Leon's driving forward. He can put the nail in the coffin here. He wasn't far away from doing so. Superb effort. We're into stoppage time. There's a kerfuffle going on the bench on the far side. I'd imagine we're going to get at least 5 or 6 minutes with all the delays. I think we've had about 30 seconds of football since Nova took the lead. It's been so disrupted. Can the 10 men of the Pancyprians fashion out one last chance? Or have Nova bested them for a 3rd time? Pancyprians and Lansdowne have a famous rivalry. They've played each other a lot more times than Nova and Pancyprians have met. But I just wonder the Pancyprians' hatred of Nova is going to burn even brighter. And Lansdowne at this point having been knocked out 3 times in the Nationals by them. Unless we've got 6 minutes of stoppage time. 1.5 minutes has already been played of it. Palace, who produced the moment of the game with that sensational long-range strike. Excellent first touch by Leons. Jack Slough's met it on the first instance. Driven forward by Lefneski. Jackson Hall, very composed. Hall gives it into West. Nova just need to take the heat out of this, and against 10 men, should be able to keep the ball. West, lovely turn, and then Tristino with a tackle of frustration. Quick to offer his apologies. Spotted Ridge Robinson, the skipper of Westchester Predators, watching this game in the stands. Of course, Westchester Predators will meet the winner of this semi-final. That'll be 12 p.m. tomorrow back here at Zafri Stadium and on Game and Frame exclusively. Looks almost certain it will be Nova who've punched their ticket to the final dance. Predators in their first ever APSL season. Be a remarkable achievement if they were national champions. They dominated the Delaware River Conference. Sloughs. Good ball to Palace. Oh, sticking closely to him. Drew Hartman will clear the lines. The referee will give the throw-in to the Pancyprians. 4 minutes of the 6 allotted have been played. There'll be another throw-in for Hinu. Lesneski. Ablanedo. Sloys. Drills it forwards. Hinu and Hall will race after it. Hinu's kept it in. Eosifidis, what can the old legs muster? Eosifidis drills it in. Karchi Puller. Karchi Puller on the turn. Karchi Puller into the side netting. He had a few swings at it. Angle was against him. And that might be the semi-final, slipping between the Pancyprians' grasp. It's now or never for the Pancyprians. It's one back by West. Shetter. Dinking it towards the corner. Devin Hinu still with some energy in the legs. One back by Cavilo. Nova eating up pressure, seconds on the clock. Hall. Hall still with it. Leons. Leons onto his left foot. Leons saved by Soren Jensen. Rebound to Rivera. Cyprian survived by the skin of their teeth. It comes back to Shetter, who puts it into orbit. We've played the allotted stoppage time. Pancyprians had the half chance, and that was their last chance for Karchipula. Nova turned the game around late against the Pancyprian Freedoms to beat them for a third time in the APSL national finals. What a dramatic, controversial final 20 minutes here. Alex Pallas with a sensational goal to give the Pancyprians the lead. But the joy was short-lived. Rivera off the bench, equalising off a throw-in. The Pancyprians felt they should have had a free kick in the lead-up to that throw-in. And then a few minutes after that, again, the Pancyprians felt they should have a free kick. Resulting play gave Nova a set piece. And Calaf found the finish and the decisive goal. Joe Holland sent off shortly after that. A captivating semi-final from start to finish. That is Nova, for a fourth consecutive season, who are going to an APSL national final. They will meet Westchester Predators tomorrow at 12 p.m. Don't go anywhere, guys. We can get ourselves a post-match interview. We'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm here with George and Leon. George, I'll start with you. 17 minutes left. You guys 1-0 down. A game of football can change so quickly. How did it feel when you scored the winner?
No, it was a great feeling. Obviously, you know, we were coming back 1-0 down. I think I was just able to get a good, lucky touch in there, and, you know, I was glad to secure the win for sure.
What did you finish that with? Because it was ricocheting around a lot in the box.
Definitely. I think I was able to just scoop it around and it just bounced one more time. I was able to just tap it in, yeah.
Gage, it was a semi-final that hung on a knife edge the whole match.
Yeah.
What do you think was the key to your guys' victory?
Well, I think the key to it was that we went 1-0 down with 15 minutes left. You know, a lot of teams I think would they would kind of fall apart, you know, and kind of get in their own heads. But we started playing harder and just scored 2 goals in that 5-minute span. I think it showed a lot of effort and just good team culture at the end. So yeah.
That first half was, I think both sides were relatively cagey. There was decent chances at either end. What was the halftime team talk that Coach Kareem gave you guys?
I think we did a good job of, you know, moving the ball in the first half. I think he just wanted to continue doing that, get up the field more, start to play in our final third a little bit more. We were kind of in our third for the majority of the first half, so definitely just try to get in that final third and finish our chances for sure.
Yeah. Gage, you were streaking down that left side, giving a lot of trouble to the right back. How are the legs feeling? Do you feel like you've got a lot in the tank for a final at 12 p.m. tomorrow in 96 heat?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to do a lot of rehab tonight, get some good food and hydrate, and so I'll be good, don't worry. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Did you guys get a chance to see Westchester earlier today?
We were watching it on the way here, but yeah, no, it seemed like a pretty dominant performance by them. So we'll definitely have to look at the film and see what we have to do for tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, congratulations on the win. Really exciting turnaround. I hope you can get some ice baths. I know. Yeah, you guys worked hard. Great watching you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Cheers. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. Well, that just about does it for us here at Zephyr Stadium. Really dramatic final 20 minutes in the second semi-final, but Nova for a 4th consecutive year heading to an APSL national title. They will take on newcomers Westchester Predators. That will be back here on Game and Frame at midday tomorrow. 96-degree heat. You guys won't want to be outside, trust me, but we will be out here sweating for you, so make sure you tune in. But for now, big thank you to the APSL for bringing us down here. Thank you to Nick Cross for doing great work behind the camera on all the games. Thanks to Jake Gillespie who did great work earlier today. Thank you to all of you for watching. This is Josh Pratt signing off from Zephyr Stadium. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday nights, everyone.